Hello. Welcome to the Redhead and the Bearded Beauty. I'm the Redhead.
And I am the Bearded Beauty.
And today is, we're filming on a Thursday, and in just a while we have our weekly media briefing, and we have some friends from the Kansas Humane Society, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I'm sure security's very pleased with you again today.
They're sick of me. Like at this point, they just are so sick of me. The things that I brought into City Hall are unacceptable, but I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm not sorry about it. So.
Yeah, it's very awesome. I love having some of these adventurous things you bring into City Hall.
There's been a goat. We had Cirque du Soleil one time, various animals, a stuffed eagle, a pig. Yeah,
Mayor had to kiss the pig.
Mayor had to kiss the pig. I loved that pig. It was so cute. It was a fundraiser for the Mental Health Association.
Now, did you love the pig because the mayor had to kiss the pig, or just you love the pig?
I mean, I would have loved the pig regardless, but it was very funny to watch the mayor kiss the pig, and like I would kiss the pig indiscriminately, like I have no, filter. But also the pig, we were teasing the mayor because the pig did not like the mayor.
No.
The pig started screaming and stuff. And so I'm holding the pig, and like one of our media partners, Brett, was like tweeting, and he was like, and there's a pig in City Hall. It was fantastic.
So what are you bringing into City Hall today?
So we're bringing in some dogs and a couple kittens, and I'm very excited about it because I love animals. And the Humane Society is just, they're overcrowded, and they need people to adopt. And so adopt, don't shop, go get a friend at the Humane Society.
Very good.
Yeah.
I will say cats are evil.
Jason is with you on that. Jason does not like cats.
Yeah.
He's also like violently allergic. So, yeah.
That could be a good reason not to like cats. But no, I like cats. We used to have a cat. She's very friendly, very cuddly. But just this weekend, we were at my in-laws, and they have a cat, and my daughter was holding it, and it was sitting there purring and just letting her love on it. All of a sudden, it just turns around, and I think it was just playing, but she's got scratch marks all over her arms.
Yeah.
So they're evil like that. They're like, oh, I'm so cute and cuddly, and now I attack you.
Yeah. My brother and his wife have 3 cats, and one is just like, it's a really cool cat, little pounce. But the other 2, like, I don't see them when I come over. They're just weird and fickle, and like I half believe that they don't exist. And cats are fickle. So
yeah.
But I'm very excited about that. Also, shout out, I was getting this is sponsored by McDonald's today. No, it's not. I wish it were. But I have trash taste in coffee, and sometimes all I want is like a McDonald's mocha. Like I'm not a coffee drinker, but I'll drink that. So I needed a little caffeine jolt. It's going to be a long day. We have some stuff tonight as well. So someone paid for my coffee in front of me.
Someone paid for your coffee?
Yeah, it was so nice. So there was no one in line behind me, so I couldn't like pass it on. But shout out to that person. I really appreciate it.
Very awesome.
Yeah, if you want to do that, like it's a great way to just like improve someone's day and pass on some kindness.
Just be honest. If someone was behind you, would you really have bought theirs?
I would have bought theirs if I judged them based on like what they looked like in my rear view mirror to be a good person.
So if I was behind you...
Absolutely not.
Because I would have like ordered all of this stuff. It's like, I'm making Megan pay for that.
No, I really like it. And it's like, I like doing small things like that. And like where I go to work, one of my usual routes, I go by a middle school. And so I always try to let multiple people in front of me because it's such a cluster trying to drop your kids off, and like people are trying to get to work. So people can be kind of like selfish in terms of like just getting where they want to go. So I like to let a couple people like get in front of me. So even small gestures. Yeah. Go do that.
Makes a world of difference. So.
Yeah, it really does.
I was a little worried. I saw coffee on the table here, and I'm like, are you like subtle hint that you are shifting podcasts and going to the number 1 rated podcast?
The number 1 rated podcast, the COP podcast.
Coffee Break.
Yeah, no. They wouldn't have me. They're like, no, you'll mess up our thing. So.
And all you guys would interview would be the WPD canines,
dogs, and the horses too. We haven't brought a horse into City Hall.
That I would pay to see that. So
I love that, Chad. Let's a horse.
Let's work on that.
I want a horse.
We'll get in touch with Mark at security.
I'm very excited. Yeah, poor Mark. Mark is the best in security and his whole team.
Yep.
And I'm just like, hey, there's gonna be a whatever I'm bringing into City Hall that day, and he's just like, oh,
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out.
This week, council approved the budget. So
Council approved the budget. Big. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for everyone, but I mean, especially the finance staff. It's huge. It's lengthy. We try and break it down as much as we can, but there's just so much that you can, break down to like little bite-sized pieces of information. So
and even some of it, it's you can try to break it down, but it's so complex you can't just simplify certain things. It requires some explanation for parts of the budget
and lengthy reading. It's a lot. It's a lot of reading. But some of the highlights: we went fine free at the library, so really cool stuff. Sean wrote a great headline: "We are finally fine free." Finally fine free. So. Really cool stuff. More money for small business grants, workforce development, social workers.
Some improvements to animal control.
Paving dirt roads, lots of good stuff in there.
So, yeah, that'll be exciting year to come. So.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of late nights at the city lately. We've had evening meetings, redistricting that we've been going to, and filming and stuff. We've had a lot of just like community input sessions and stuff.
Park Board had a meeting Monday night between use for, I think it's the Edgemore tennis courts.
Pickleball.
They brought in all the people to talk about pickleball and tennis, and I think the Park Board voted to convert the tennis courts into pickleball courts. So that was another fun evening meeting where lots of good feedback. So that's awesome to see so many residents come out and give their opinions about it.
Yeah.
So,
well, one thing we do too is that the mayor does a monthly show, What's Up Wichita, and usually it's just something that we put on YouTube, and then KPTS plays it the last Sunday of the month at 2 p.m.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. So mayor decided he wanted to go live, which is cool.
We're recording or doing our first one live tonight.
We're doing our first one live tonight, so it's a little bit of a quick turnaround, but we'll get some questions, and we've gotten a couple people to say that they're going to ask questions, but it's an opportunity just to ask your questions about the city, whatever you want to have feedback, you want to ask questions, something to do. So
make sure and check that out tonight on the city's Facebook page. We're going to have Facebook Live, and then in that Facebook Live feed, there will be a Zoom link.
Yeah.
So you can ask your questions live via Zoom to the mayor.
Yeah.
So be patient with us. We've tested it out. We believe it's going to work, but it's the first time we've ever attempted anything like this.
Yeah.
We think we've got it and we should work, but
maybe
I'm one of those that until it's over, I'm not going to be calm. I'm going to be sweating and be like, okay, Maureen, what's going to go wrong, and ready to try to fix it. So
we'll give it the old college try, but you can also ask questions in the Facebook feed, and I'll read those on all that stuff. So
yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's a fun challenge. For those who don't know, this studio was not necessarily built for this sort of thing. It was more built when we first did this in 2009, 2010. It was more for recorded on tape. How old that is, mini DV tape.
Right.
I do 3 cameras and record a show and go edit that all together. All these live capabilities that we are doing now is kind of pieced together. It wasn't really built for this, but we're making it happen.
Well, you've done a lot especially since the pandemic, just do more and more like that. So
So I'm hoping with our upgrades we're trying to work on that we can kind of streamline some of these processes so we don't have meetings where our background like last week starts changing on us. Or
like audio issues during council meetings, being accessible digitally in this way is becoming more and more important. So it's something we're always trying to improve with, limited resources. So,
So before we get into our interviewee, remember people, we have My Baby is on the way, September 21st. Jeanette's getting a little uncomfortable. It's August, and she's 8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And we would love to hear your names for guesses of what the name of the baby's going to be. We're not finding out the gender. And so I am willing to buy 2 tickets to Botanica for anyone who can guess the name. So
it's really cool.
Send your guesses to social@wichita.gov.
And did you get some?
We did actually get some from social@wichita.gov.
Are they from our coworkers?
No.
Oh, wow.
No. This one's actually from someone I know, but not a coworker.
Well.
From Terry. It's he guesses Claire and Carson.
Claire and Carson. Oh, I like those. Good job.
Yeah, those were very good guesses.
Those are solid names, too.
And then kid I went to high school with on my Facebook, I post these on Facebook, he commented Bertram and Cleo. And then
Bertram. I
and
like
then,
it.
you know, a frequent commenter on my Facebook post, my mom.
Right.
So, you know, I got to throw those out there.
Right.
She said Chloe and Eric Dean.
Oh, I love the name Chloe.
That's a very good name.
Yeah,
so,
that's a solid one.
Yeah, that is very solid. So, and then Eric Dean is a mixture of my dad's first name and my father-in-law's first name.
Oh, I love that.
So that's a very good guess.
That's a very good guess, and I like that name. That's a good name.
I will say last week, I keep telling you were wrong.
Okay.
I need to stop doing that.
No, it's fine.
But
you tell me that all the time about multiple things.
Yeah, not just this, but several things. So.
Just all the things.
You're wrong, Megan.
I'm just wrong.
No, I believe your girl name was Caroline. That you guessed last week, and I smirked. And it's not
right?
because that's the name,
No.
but I will say forever my wife has loved the name Caroline.
It's a good name.
Yeah, she wanted Caroline for if we had a girl. Clear back, you know, when we had our first kid. But she did not think that Caroline Schiffelbein was good and that would open up for teasing in school and stuff.
See,
so she didn't.
I didn't even think about the last name, how that ties in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a very good name, and I like that name too. But for that reason, we're not going with that one. So
fair.
For any of those that think that she got it right, she did not. So I'll let you guess again later.
Okay, I'll think about it. We also have a poll upstairs, and it's just for fun. Like, you don't win anything. Sorry, coworkers. Guessing on the date.
The date. Yeah. She's due on the 21st.
Okay.
So I said the 18th. What was yours?
So one of our fellows, Josie, looked up the date of the full moon, which was smart. And I think it's like the night of the 11th, like into the 12th. So she guessed the 11th and I guessed the 12th.
Yeah, and she's going to be she said she'd be very displeased if it's like 12:01.
Yeah, and it's, she was like, how dare you? So
I will say there is something to the weather though, because last time with our youngest, she was born and we had troubles. We had to sit in the waiting room for a while because they had so many deliveries going on. We couldn't get a room, and they said it was a low pressure system was going through, and nurses thought there was some theory with that. So
nice.
I'm gonna have to hop on and look at the weather around that time and see what's going on. So.
I think the winner should like have to buy you guys diapers or something, or like Jeanette a gift. Like Jeanette deserves a gift.
Yeah.
Are you getting her a gift, a birthing gift?
Since you're putting me on the spot, yes.
Right, exactly.
Yes,
that's exactly why I did it too.
Yeah.
So,
no,
yeah. I always do this to like the husbands of my friends, and I'm like, "Oh, what are you getting her for the birthday gift? What are you getting?" And so then they have to, because I'm just saying.
I gave her the gift of a child.
I feel like she deserves something else.
You know, I put in my time. She gets 9 months worth of work. I'm sitting back relaxing, so. I hope she's not watching this one.
I'm mad at you for her. So yeah, feel like you should get her a birthday gift because I brought this up in a public forum.
I was going to anyway. I'll just
or
maybe not, but yes, definitely will now.
All right.
Thank you for that, Megan. You might have saved my bacon.
You're welcome.
So with that, maybe we ought to get on to the interview before you get me to do anything else.
I know. Let's get Mike in here.
So, all right, we got Mike Kollmeyer from our IT GIS department, and he's going to come in and talk about all the different things they do with maps. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Golf Wichita offers the public 4 quality courses, 3 driving ranges, multiple practice facilities, and golf shops stocked with the newest gear. Play the 4 public courses as a member and never pay a green fee again. Members pay a low monthly fee and enjoy playing all 4 courses as much as they want. Our instructors are PGA golf professionals that have the knowledge to help you improve your game through group and private lessons. At Golf Wichita, we strive to provide our golfers with a memorable experience that will keep you coming back. Golfers are our guests, and we look forward to seeing you.
All right. So with us is Mike with GIS. Mike, what's your full title?
I'm the GIS team lead.
GIS team lead. No, give us a brief overview about what our GIS team does.
We make a lot of maps.
You make a lot of maps.
We make a lot of maps. We do a lot of data. It's something different every day. We develop apps. We design apps. We create apps. We analyze information, and And right now we have about over 1,500 individual layers of information that you can analyze. And
I didn't know that.
And
that's
probably
crazy.
Over 200 map services that are connecting up to all kinds of different apps that we have out there. We have probably over 100 apps as well. So we touch a lot of things and impact a lot of business processes. So.
Now, I think your most well-known map that people are probably most familiar with is the snowplow tracker during winter and the sweepers of the plains. People like to see those and see when they're coming to their community. When did we debut those?
That's probably been 5 years ago. We had it up and running, and usually we don't know if it's always working until snow comes down, and we get called in the middle of the night, and it's like, fix your stuff. But yeah, it's one of the popular ones, and residential. We have a lot of apps out there that the citizens as well as the employees itself utilize on a daily basis. So we have like open data. We have street closures. There's a park locator out there. We have obviously the redistricting app out there, and we also have a new census one that came out about a couple months ago. And so I can't name them all. There's a lot of them out there. We always forget about a lot of them until something breaks.
Yeah.
Now, before we kind of got going in here, before we get too far, so tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, we've talked, you're with IT and GIS and doing all the maps. So who are you when you are not at work?
Just a dad, 4 kids, and I live in a small town south of here, and basically the kids kind of consume my life. So
yeah.
How old are the kids?
Well, I got one daughter who's 21 and is employed and lives up in Kansas City. I got a son who's a senior. I have a son who's a freshman and a daughter who's a 6th grader. So
That's great.
Very good. So we like to do this little game on here called 2 Truths and a Lie. Do you have your 2 truths and a lie?
It can be personal. It can be about
personal,
maps.
it can be about work, anything you want it to be.
Well, let's see. I was a lead singer in a band. I was a part of the table tennis club at Kansas State. And I've met a president.
I think the third one is the lie.
I'm going to go, all of those. I could believe all of those, so I'm going to go with the president as well.
Unfortunately, yeah, that's it. Yeah, the table tennis one, I thought it would, increase my dating profile in college. But,
You thought table tennis would increase your dating
just showing
profile?
the athletic side of me. I thought that would be great. It was kind of like, maps, doing maps.
Yeah.
I thought, hey, those would be sexy. And apparently, it's not. And playing the tuba in the band, no. You make mistakes along the way.
There's nothing wrong with playing tuba in the band. I did that as well.
It doesn't help. It does.
Yeah.
It really doesn't help your social life at all. I really thought it would, but you live and learn.
Yeah. Those life lessons. So lead singer in a band, huh? Tell us about that.
Well, I was living down south. It's just something we put together. I got pulled into it, and we kind of hit a lot of the dance halls down there. It was probably about 5-6 years ago.
What type of music?
Yeah, it was country classic rock.
Okay.
So,
And you thought table tennis was more of a draw than the singing in a band?
well, I didn't realize I was going to do any singing. I never had the
Right.
opportunity for that. But table tennis, yes, that was a gift, and I thought,
Right.
why not show that gift? But the singing part, yeah, I can't play an instrument. I've tried outside the tuba, and it doesn't really vibe with classic rock. So, but it was fun for a while, and then everyone got old and couldn't do it anymore. So I'm back to staying at home on the weekends.
Mm-hmm. But you've got the 4 kids. You guys, certainly some of your musical talent passed on to them. You could have like a sort of Partridge Family sort of situation.
Yeah.
Have you thought about it?
No.
Well, now it's an idea.
And one daughter she was a music major in college.
Okay.
So she's very talented, and all of them are involved in music in some way or
See,
another.
here you go. This is your opportunity.
I don't see it as that. So.
All right.
You want to go next?
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't prepare any facts at all. Oh, So I'm trying to think about things that we're currently working on. So the city of Wichita is currently working on redistricting and changing all of our council districts, process that we're currently undergoing. We're currently working on changing up our website and redoing that. It's a huge project. If you've never done like a regular website, it's a huge project, but this is especially large. And we are also working on a program where we would bring in like local goats and stuff to trim up our parks. So as a way to save money, be more green and sustainable.
I'll let you go first.
What am I doing?
You guess which one's her lie.
You have to guess which one is the lie.
That was 2, 3. I thought they were all true. I say number 3.
I will go with number 3 as well.
Number 3 is the lie, despite my wishes.
The first one was not.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing a really good job with redistricting, and it's almost over. We have a week for the commission to still meet, but yeah, we'll get into that. Tyler, you wanna go?
I really wish maybe next year for the budget we can push for the goats. That would be awesome.
That would make me happy.
So this morning I was trying to look up fun Wichita facts. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't really prep. So so I went with a restaurant theme.
Okay.
So Spangles began as a restaurant named Coney Island in 1978 here in Wichita, after it was converted from a hot dog restaurant named Wiener King. Pizza Hut was founded in 1958 here in Wichita, right next to Wichita State University at 17th and Bluff. White Castle was founded here in Wichita in 1921. They are known for their sliders, and when they were first opened, their sliders cost 5 cents. Which one is the lie?
I'm going to go with the first one.
The first one, Spangles?
Mm-hmm.
What was the second one you had mentioned?
Pizza Hut was founded in 1958 here in Wichita, right next to Wichita State University at 17th and Bluff.
I believe it's number 2, but more by the date, because all 3 of those are actually correct, because I remember when Spangles was Coney Island prior to having a lawsuit placed on them that they had to change their name. I believe that was...
Number 2 is incorrect. It started at Kellogg and Bluff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I always thought it was up by Wichita State, and then I was looking into that, and it said it started at Kellogg and Bluff. Yep.
So the fun fact and great morn of my life is that so my grandpa had an ad agency, and they came to my grandpa and asked him to invest in Pizza Hut, and he was like, no way is this going to take off. So if he had, I wouldn't be here today because I would be doing nothing at home.
Yeah.
So
that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And the first franchise for Pizza Hut was actually started in Topeka. So
that's cool.
Restaurant started here in the first franchise in Topeka.
Well, that's good. That's good. My grandpa actually worked on the first Wendy's too.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
I didn't.
Didn't you say Wendy's? Something about your family and Wendy's?
Yeah, the graphic designer sketched the Wendy's, the first like little Wendy's drawing off a picture of my mom.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have really made it not have to be here working at City Hall.
I'm happy to be here though.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. Let's get back to the topic at hand here. So you work in GIS, do all sorts of maps. We touched on the snow plows and all that. One cool feature I've noticed on some of the maps is the ability to layer and turn off layers, turn on layers, and see different things. I know with like planning maps, you can see zoning, like you turn on the zoning. Talk a little bit about that and all the different layers you can add on these maps.
You can actually go out to the public website, the gismaps.wichita.gov. That is our current public offering that has hundreds of layers that people can toggle off and on. We can continuously add to it. We added 2 of them the other day. So it's a constant state where there's always somebody wanting something else. And right now it's kind of like a kitchen sink option. So everyone can kind of turn off and turn on certain layers that they want to and make projects off of it and come back and load them up if they want to. We have an internal app that has probably more layers of information for staff to utilize as well.
And then, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
There's some of those, I know with like the planning one I remember looking at, you can click on certain zoning areas and get more information. Something pops up. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, GIS is not just about where things are, but what's underneath. And so when you layer information on top of things, you can actually find out not only what things are underneath it, as well as what stuff is around it, what's within a distance of information as well. And it just keeps going. There's so many opportunities and applications that can be applied to it, not just here in the city, but at the city base itself, you can basically ask any department. You can ask me any department here, and there's some area that GIS impacts or helps or assists in the way of the business processes that we have.
Now, in a second, we're going to look at one of our maps, which is the parks map, I think. But first of all, let's talk about the why. Why do we have these, and why is it important to our city?
Well, it's good for the citizens to know where things are.
Yeah.
Have access to it and what's available, especially in the case of the park app. This was designed by Phil Waring, who's one of my coworkers. He's a great analyst that we have here. We're fortunate to have him. He designed the park app that citizens can actually go out there and toggle the map to certain amenities that they want to see. So, if I want to see a BMX park, where is that at? Dog track, where is that? I want to have something with a gazebo. They can certainly do that as well.
That's really cool.
It's a really awesome tool. It's way better in Tulsa.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at our map.
So this is the Park Locator app, and I actually access that through our public website, which you actually can get at gis.wichita.gov. The Park Locator, it gives you all the good instructions here on about. I apologize. My mouth was dry. Sorry.
Mike is drinking out of the biggest water bottle I've ever
This
seen.
is a lot of caffeine that keeps me going for the day.
That's insane.
So here on the map, and we're actually going to be updating this afternoon. I told not to touch it till 10 o'clock. So I was like, I'm about to update that. Please don't. So these are all the park locations in the city.
All right.
So you can certainly click on it, and you can get this at a lot of different sites out there where you can just kind of click on things, pull information. He has the images of the park itself. So this is the best one for Chisholm.
What sort of amenities can you search by?
Well, that's a cool thing about it is there's this filter option, and you see filter park by amenities. When you click on that, this provides all of the amenities that we have available with Wichita Park.
Oh, look at gazebos.
So we want to look at gazebos.
Huge gazebo fan.
Yeah, gazebos are very popular, and I just lost it. Where is it?
Tyler, you know how passionate I am about gazebos.
That and restrooms. Yeah. Restrooms are really in high demand. So on the gazebo one, these are all the 4 city parks that have gazebos available to them, and you can click on that. And Central Nims Park, and apparently there's South Riverside as well as North Riverside. They all have gazebos available to them.
It's a ton of gazebos in Riverside.
Longview Neighborhood Park. So we have wildlife centers, which that's probably just going to be NIMS. Yeah. That's NIMS. And nature center. Dog parks they keep those 4 locations within the city. There's nothing for cats. It's very unfortunate. We'll work on that. Basketball courts. So citizens go out and it's like, hey, I want to find the best place to shoot hoops or find shade on a hot summer day. You can do that. So
that's really cool.
And you can also search and put in your address. This is...
Tyler, go ahead and give him your address.
Give him my
address.
I'm just going to put in the city address for now.
455 North Main.
Yeah.
Oh, you live there too?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Me too.
Wow.
That's where I reside from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Oh, really?
I was going to say, I think it's a lot more than that.
Yeah. So let's just put in 455 North Main Street and search for that. And I hope I'm doing this right because he's going to be mad at me if I don't. And of course, things aren't working. You click on this tool instead of the one I just clicked on. There's so many tools out there. So I'm getting this, and I should have. And so now Phil's going to be mad at me. This tool right here, it says Park Locator. And so when you put in your address, so I'll put in Tyler's home address, 455 North Main Street, and search for it. It zooms to that location, and then it lists out all the parks that is within a distance. It usually doesn't highlight them, but I'm not used to this laptop. So show results within 5 miles. You can also just kind of toggle that and move it down. So I only want 1 mile. I want to keep within distance because I don't have a car or, I can only drive moped. So this will showcase anything that's within a mile of that location. So citizens can go out, put in their address, especially if they're new to the area. They can type it out. It's like, hey, where can I go within a distance to go fishing or something like that. So there's a lot of cool things out there that we could apply this to.
That's really cool. Thank you for showing us that.
That's awesome.
What is our most popular map that people utilize?
It's not actually the map itself, but it's an application, and that's actually the open data site that we have.
Okay.
Open data is provides citizens the opportunity to download data. We have a lot of applications out there. You can access it at opendata.wichita.gov. We have not only just raw data that a lot of vendors and consultants pull this data down. Citizens can download data as well. And we've had a lot of college students like, hey, can we find this?
Yeah.
That have a passion for GIS and maps because they are sexy.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Yes.
Because it's really good on your dating profile. Well, the census data we have. On census, we actually have a lot of data out there. We have everything from 1990 to current for the 2020. We have block group, block, and census track. We also have, in the case of block group, we have the change between 2010 and 2020. We have associated maps with that, not only with population, but racial demographics as well. And we also have an historical one that actually breaks down the census history since 1910 and actually shows... Cool. I can launch that, and hopefully it doesn't break because that's not good for live TV.
Tell you know how passionate I am about census history.
Yes.
So, I was just talking to my kids about it today, captivating them with it.
Did they listen?
No.
They probably give you the same look as when I start to tell a dad joke at home. Like, Dad, come on.
It's like, you want to hear about work today and anything that happened? No, not really. So across here you have Wichita census history, basically from 1910 to 1920.
Cool.
And so when you click on it, let's say you're interested in the 1960s. At 1960, and if you notice the map changed here, and I don't know how to use this mouse to be able to zoom in on it, but this is the city limits in the blue at 1960. So you can actually see where the census grew at that time, as well as the population figures on the left, population and race. So, and we also have some charts on the side here. Some of them are not applicable because they didn't collect the data at that time.
Sure.
So when you click over to 90, you're going to see the census or the city limits change, as well as the information on the left and right. We also have all of these broken down. It looks really cool on big monitors.
Click on 1910 just because I'm curious, if you would.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
In case of this is the only information that was gathered at that time.
That's cool.
So
a good portion of our podcast is non-visual. It's just audio. So if you are listening to the podcast and not watching the YouTube feed, go to the YouTube feed. You can see some really cool maps, how the city has changed, and see the maps being demoed. So I encourage you to go check that out. But yeah.
Very cool. So speaking of census data, census is done every 10 years. We had one done in 2010 and 2020. And so after they do that, then we have to go take a look at council districts and make sure that each district is represented and proportionate so they're all the same. And, we don't have one district with a whole lot more residents than another. So we're in the process of redistricting now. Talk a little bit about that and what your team is doing with the redistricting.
Well, GIS has been involved in redistricting since 2002, 2001 is usually the time frame they do it, is a year or two after census comes out, and we usually have to wait for after state redistricts and county redistricts, and then the city takes its turn on it. So we've been involved in redistricting since 2000. So I've been a part of it personally 2000, 2010, and 2020. Currently, we had our last meeting last night. The commission has approved 2 maps to push through. In total, we had about 30 maps, scenarios that were developed. We created a dashboard that's available out on the Wichita redistricting site. It's not up to date as of last night. We still have some work to do to get those things out there. But we also have links on the redistricting site itself. Is this still live or not?
We can throw it back up.
Okay.
If you're just listening, it's wichita.gov/redistricting. You can go check out the maps. There's links to continue to provide feedback on forum. There's another really cool GIS map that you can check out.
And there's also a link out there for, it says, view the 2022 redistricting scenario summaries, which we actually take and we grab the map as well as analyze all the election districts that were modified for that particular scenario and the impacts of neighborhood associations and homeowners associations for those particular scenarios. So citizens can go out there and see if their particular neighborhood or homeowners would be impacted by that scenario. So
really cool. So the commission is making a recommendation to council, and then I believe that they are planning on still doing some community input through like district advisory boards and council meetings and stuff. So the council has until the end of the year to choose a final map. So I know the process isn't done, but I would imagine that the majority of the bulk of your work through the commission is finished at this point.
Yeah, my Wednesday nights are clear.
Well, good. Congratulations.
Spend more time at home.
Yeah.
Yes. So, we still have some work to do initially, and then any kind of participation or feedback or changes that they have between now and the end of the year will be involved in that process.
Sure. All right, so I think it's time for dad jokes.
Time for dad jokes.
Do you want to start?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to read it because I don't have
That's
it.
fine.
My son tried to give me some, and none of them were clean.
Sometimes jokes with kids work that way.
I know. Well, I did map-centric jokes, and so not everybody will get these, but a friend of mine always helps me out with maps and diagrams, pointing out all the little symbols and what they mean. He's a legend. So, let's see, and I got one more, but that's the same one. And I think I finally made it big in life today. A representative from one of the world's biggest companies said I had arrived. It was Google Maps. So.
Nice. Nice. Okay.
Google never tells me I arrive. So I always shut it off before I get there.
Yeah. Please turn.
Yeah. Please turn around.
You have not reached your destination yet.
Oh my gosh. So why did the map maker get kicked out of the map makers club?
Why?
I don't know.
He had a bad latitude. That's it. That's all I got.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. I did not go with the map theme today.
That's
so
fine.
I'm sorry. But you were from a small town. I'm also from small town.
Well, I live in a small town. I'm from Derby.
From Derby.
Yeah. So someday they'll still annex Wichita, I'm sure.
So they'll annex Wichita.
Yeah. Just waiting for that day.
It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a Derby attitude right there.
I can't consider Derby a small town. I'm from a town of less than 2,000 people.
Well,
wow.
Now I live in Argonia now, which is there's like 400 people in that town.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So you can relate to this one then. So how do you get a country girl's attention? A tractor.
That's
nothing.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
Is it?
And with that.
All right. Well, Mike, thanks for coming. We appreciate it. And thanks for all your work on the redistricting stuff. And so if you have anything that you want to see on the show, any questions that you want to see, email us social@wichita.gov. Thanks for joining in.